I'm Jeff from Two Hacks Garage. Well, as you've seen in a lot of these cylinder head videos, I know I'm putting a lot out there. What I'm just trying to do is capture all the steps I'm taking. Kyle and I, we're not experts at this. We're doing a lot of research, looking online, gathering your guys' feedback, talking to Jimmy about all this. But what we've done is we performed a mild port and polish job on this. As you can see in another video, we go in a little bit more in depth on the actual polishing and all that. But the exhaust ports on this are done. But I think one thing that after talking with Kyle about when we were starting to polish stuff out, we do know we need to keep things on here on the intake side a little bit rougher for that fuel atomization. We did do that on these heads already, but after talking to him, it's like, you know what? We took the exhaust ports a little further to get them a little bit more smooth. Maybe we can get into those intake bowls and those intake ports and kind of do the same thing. Now, the cylinder heads here, they have been port matched, gasket matched to the intake manifold. We did already kind of clean these up and polish them up a little bit. They're still rough, kind of like the natural castings. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and just go for a little bit more depth in there and really start cleaning those up. A little bit of that fine detail. I know it sounds like I'm a perfectionist, but my machinist is a perfectionist, and to be honest with you, that's rubbing off on me. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Another thing, I just wanted to give you fellow YouTubers a tip. If it looks like in some of these videos I'm always dressed the same, always looking the same, well, because I am. It's not that I'm wearing the same clothes every day. I try to make a whole lot of content. If we have a full day or a full night or both, I try to make a whole bunch of content and break it up into different segments. That way, you can dump videos out every day or every other day and fill almost a week's worth of time and actually just doing that work within a day or two. That helps out with the algorithms. I was talking to Ruben today from Muscle City Madness. Go check him out. He makes some very cool content. He's got a cool Roadrunner. He's got a cool Challenger. Awesome guy. Really cool guy. And we were kind of talking about those algorithms and how that plays into it. So I'm playing around with it. I really appreciate his feedback and his advice on that. So with that, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's get in here and let's just, see what happens. Let's just get in here, clean it up a little bit more. Maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. But you know what, guys? You don't know until you try. Let's get to work. Real quick, guys, I do want to show you where we're at with these. I should have done that just a few minutes ago. So this is where we're at with these. I'm going to kind of show you inside here what we got going on. Like I said in a previous video, we did clean up the porting work, and we did get in there, open that up a little bit, and try to get it to the right, I guess you want to call it grit, feel, whatever you want to call it, texture, more of a better word. So we have proper fuel atomization. So this video is going to be on the intake side of these things. So let me show you where we're at on this real quick. So as you can see on the intake side, we did go in there just a little bit here, and well, let me see if I can get a little bit closer in there for you real quick. So we did get in there and clean all this area up. We did port match it, and it's actually a pretty good texture. It looks different than here, but that's kind of dirty down there from the filings. But what I'm going to do, what I explained, is I had removed a little of this here. I'm going to go ahead and round this out a little bit more, try to get in there further just to make that pattern more of an equal chamber going down, and just make it the right actual texture that I want. I'm going to do the same thing on here with the actual cylinder head itself. As you can see, I have already gone in and cleaned up in here quite a bit. It's about the same texture as this, but I'm going to try to get in here further on both sides and make that a little bit better. I did have some really good advice on a few things I'm still pondering. Only reason I'm pondering is it's still think if it's within my realm of capabilities with these heads. So you know what, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to clean this up. We are going to come in here and do the intake side of this. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with there. You know, there's a good shot right there. As you can see, I didn't go as far in there as I probably could have. So I'm just going to work a little further in there. I'm going to be careful on here not to hit where this bolt goes through. But what I'm going to try to do is get back further in there and start cleaning up. So with that, I will see you in a few. Well, as you can see, I got one side done. Just as a quick note on that, I was going pretty far deep into these ports in here. While it looks smooth, it's actually not really smooth. It's the texture we want. That was the 120 grit. That's actually going to match what we did on the actual cylinder head itself. So that's going to be a uniform texture going through there. Well, like I said, it does look smooth, but it's actually not really as smooth as you would think. Just by a little bit of research, it seems to be about the texture where I want on for fuel atomization on these. I was able to get much deeper in there, which is a good thing. Kind of one quick thing is that 120 grit flapper wheel doesn't look like it's actually removing much, but it is. As I was going in here, I was able to, on some of the flaws I saw or where I didn't maybe get the grind right when Kyle and I were porting these out, it does start removing more material than you think. So just remember that when you start using that. But these four are done. I'm pretty happy with it. So we're going to go on to the next side. And you know what, guys? We will see you really soon. As you can see, the intake has now been completed. I did get up much further up in those runners, kind of smoothed some more stuff out that's in there. Some of it was just casting flaws. Some of it was I was actually using that 120 grit flapper wheel to kind of shape things a little bit more uniform. I've done some research on that. I'm by far not an expert, but I think I improved some stuff. Only time will tell. Now it's on to the cylinder heads. Kyle and I did port match these and remove quite a bit of material through here on this, and we did kind of smooth it out. But like I said, Kyle had some good advice on, hey, you know what, maybe we can just take this a step further. So what I'm going to do, as you can see here, it is rough. It's not too bad at all. It's about the same consistency. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up taking the Dremel that I'm using with the 120 grit flapper wheel, and I'm going to get further up in there. I've had a lot of great feedback from a lot of people, and they're kind of talking about, let me see if I can get in here real quick. They're kind of telling me, you know, as far as some of these chambers go, and I'm still researching this, guys. There's more to come on that. But if you look back up in here, some of that right there, that curvature there, if you can actually get that smoothed out just a little bit more, that does help with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Dremel, and I am going to get back up in here as far as I can and start smoothing that out. If needed, if it's not taking off what I need, I'll probably go in there with the actual grinder and start taking some more of that out. But that's kind of where we're at with this. It's onto the cylinder heads now. Kind of get those a little bit more cleaned up. Still staying with that consistent rough-ish texture for proper fuel atomization. This is probably going to take a little bit longer. So you know what, guys? Let's just get to work. Enjoy the tunes in the background because that's important. And of course, safety glasses. See you soon. All right, well, I tell you what, guys, that is the process that I use to clean up a little bit more of the roughness, overly roughness from the porting. Kind of I did do a job initially, really good job on getting that done. But like I said, I decided to take it a little step further, just like I did with the exhaust ports on that. That was just after some feedback, a little bit more online research. Will it help? I really hope so. I'm not an expert. I would love to flow test these and just find out. But you know what? It's always worth the effort. I'm kind of one of those guys where I get thinking about it and it's like, you know what? I'm just going to give it a shot. If it works, great. If not, well, it's a learning lesson, just like life. So where I'm at with this now is I'm actually doing a little research on improving these combustion chambers in here. Not 100% sure yet. There's a couple guys online that I'm talking to about it. I don't know if I'm even capable of doing it or if I have the right tools. I think I do. I'm pretty sure I can. I just want to feel this out and get a little bit more advice. In the video, you didn't see me do the other head. Well, I'm going to save that for my son to do. I think it's a good learning experience for him. And also just gets him out, hanging out with me. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy that type of stuff. So yeah, that is how you clean up the heads on the intake side. 120 grit, it looks smooth. It's really not that smooth. I think it's going to be just about right for the fuel atomization. So it's been a long night doing this. I'm tired, still need to eat some dinner. and catch up with a bunch of other things. So I tell you what, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.